shine. Carissa?
Thank you, Zach. I'm joined by dietitian Ginger Meyer. We've been talking about sleep awareness all week long, and a lot of people may not realize that what they're eating could be affecting their sleep in a positive or negative aspect.
Very true, Carissa. And some people find it easier to fall asleep with a light snack. And I mentioned light snack because you don't want to eat something that's too much food or that's too high in fat or even protein, because as you lie down, your digestive processes slow down. So if you've eaten too much, again, or too high fat a meal, it can make you feel uncomfortable and even make it more difficult to get to sleep. Some good options, though, Carissa, would be foods that mostly are carbohydrate, maybe a little bit of protein. We're all familiar with protein in terms of tryptophan, the amino acid we hear more about on Thanksgiving Day that makes us feel sleepy, but there are actually other foods that are good sources of that help us fall asleep as well. And tryptophan is found in dairy products too.
Really?
So good options, it would be a combination, again, mostly carbohydrate, a little bit of protein, things like a small bowl of cereal, some fruit, yogurt, maybe graham crackers, milk, or a whole grain cracker. So those would all be good options to help you fall asleep.
And see, that's interesting because all those things you just named are normally more of a breakfast option for most, but they also will help you go to sleep later at night, or if you're going to be eating before bed, it's the best choice.
That is
interesting.
True. Yeah, they are could be breakfast options as well. And another, besides avoiding eating too much food, you also want to avoid sources of caffeine, whether it be a beverage, a caffeinated beverage, or chocolate, or things like that. And some people even have difficulty falling asleep if they have caffeine in the afternoon or later in the day. That can make it challenging too.
I had heard eating before bed was just bad overall. If they are going to have a snack, do you recommend having it 2 hours ahead of time, 30 minutes ahead of time?
That's a good point, and it kind of depends on their total day and maybe what time they have their evening meal. And some people, don't feel like they need a snack before bedtime, but maybe at least a half an hour to an hour I would recommend before bedtime, so that you have time to start digesting that food. But the key would be have something light,
not a full dinner,
right?
Just
a light, small snack, and again, kind of the carbohydrate foods that are more easily digested.
Okay. Is there any specific food that is known to keep you awake? You mentioned caffeine, but
right.
Food?
There's not any particular specific food, again, besides the caffeine that is a stimulant, but sometimes, again, a food that's high fat, something fried or just too much food can make us feel uncomfortable during the night.
All right. Well, if they want more information, where would you recommend they get that?
I would recommend the Academy of Nutrition Dietetics website, Carissa, and that is at eatright.org.
Eatright.org.
Eatright.org, yes, and really excellent information can be found there.
Well, great. I'm glad cereal's on the list because we're also celebrating that it's National Cereal Day here, so it's a good breakfast or right before bed snack.
That's right.
Great. Thank you for joining me, and you'll be back again with us later to talk about frozen foods and the best and worst selections in the frozen food aisle. But right now, back to you guys.
Okay, thanks, Carissa.